can close it.
All right, Dave, and welcome to East County post game for Friday, Dave, week 8 here with the guys, and we just got done, Dave, wrapping up the Christian Patriots huge victory tonight in the City League, the Pseudo League Championship tonight, Dave, and the Christian High Patriots win this one. They played it, pardon me, tonight, Dave, at El Cajon Valley. Christian gets the win. Dave, you kept up on the game. They win it tonight, 27. Let me flash it up here. There, 27-7. There, let me fix it up, make it look pretty, because it was a thing of beauty, especially Patriot defense tonight. We got Hayden Jeremiah with us. He had a pick 6, and Jake Marsh, a big 45-yard, I believe 45-yard touchdown reception. Dave, you'll tell us about it. The guys will tell us about it. Christian Patriots win the City League game tonight. And Hayden now. We'll try to get back with Jake.
Yeah, so Hayden, I mean, we'll start off with you. I mean, the pick 6 to put you guys up 20-7. I mean, take us from there of how you guys are feeling. I mean, were you thinking that this one is going to be ours for sure, the way you're playing on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, no, we came out to an early lead there, but we still, coming out of halftime, knew we had to keep the foot on the gas because you never want to get in those dogfights late in the game, and that pick 6 really helped us get to a spot where we wanted to be.
Now, I mean, was it one of those that it was a scoop, or was it like right to you, like he completely missed his receiver?
Yeah, so it was shout out Coach Kelly because he put us all in the right spot, and he alerted us that the quarterback was probably going to go sprint out right. So then I was just trailing across the middle, and he just kind of got sacked and threw it right to me. So we'll take it.
Perfect. So you got to thank your defense for applying that pressure off of the edge. Who was in there on the pressure?
I believe it was Chase Hogerson.
Boy. Maybe buy him a burger or something after that, because we all love a pick 6.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take care of Chase. He's my guy for sure.
And then Mr. Marsh, yeah, I mean you're in every single game. I think throughout the season, you had the 45-yard passing touchdown. You want to take us through that one and tell us how that was? I mean, because Runkle obviously has been making a incredible difference on the offense, and especially with the receivers.
Yeah, Runkle's had a great start of the season. I don't think he's starting to pick yet, and I really got to give that credit for that play to obviously Runkle, but also the coaches as well. They drew up a great concept for that. It was a fake sweep left to the wide receiver. They really didn't expect me to go on the post, and that was all the coaches, man.
Now, can you also tell me, Turby was he was in on it a couple of weeks ago, and Turby was in on another one that helped you guys out. I'm gonna throw that your way, also, Mr. Marsh.
I actually got him right here with me right now.
That's funny.
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, we'll talk to both of you.
It's there right now, you say? Hey,
yeah,
Max,
right here.
The king of the turnover, man, the king of the takeaway right now. Kai forced that fumble. Tell us about that play.
I mean, it's just you got to have the effort and finish the plays. I ran all the way over, helping with the tackle when the ball came out, and it was going out of bounds, and ended up being a little bit of a toe tap on the sideline. Got around before it went out of bounds.
Why are you always in the right place at the right time?
It's just effort. You gotta finish the plays and get to the ball no matter what.
I mean, coming with the way that Coach Bug has been drawn up the plays, I'm sure the coordinators, your offensive coordinator, I'm sure even the defensive coordinator has really set you guys up for success. And just the way you guys have been playing as a team this year, I mean, it's all a team effort. I mean, I see different names, same names. I mean, it's just everybody's going out there, and it almost seems like everybody gets a piece of the pie when it's all said and done. And we're not even through the season yet. But Jeremiah, let's, like I asked you before, was this basically like a pre-league championship?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
no doubt. And also, Hayden, if you can tell us, I know Dave's what he's pressing you on, but we were talking backstage before the show about this defense. I think Dave predicted the final score to be like 50-40 or something like that.
Oh.
What went on? Did we know this was going to be this type of game, this type of defense?
Yeah, I think Jake was saying it earlier. They're averaging like 40 points a game, and Coach Kelly, the defensive coordinator, just put us in a really good place. And I really don't think there's anybody better in San Diego. He does such a good job of just preparing us.
And alluding to what Dave said about the importance of this game, I mean, it's our job to hype up the game, but we knew that this matchup, with all due respect to the other three teams right now, with San Diego, Morse, and Crawford, and we wanted to kind of lump them in a little bit because they're all really cool programs right now, but you guys had to know privately. Did they tell you guys in alluding to what everybody knew about this game, or did you guys just know and focus in on it?
Yeah, for sure. We try to block out all the noise and just go out there and do our thing. But at the beginning of the year, Coach Bug sat us down as a team and really asked us what our goals were for this year. And we just want to get a league championship, of course, but we want to have success at the playoff level too. And this is just another stepping stone to get to where we want to be in the playoffs.
Dave, this team took a huge step here tonight. I think they know it, no doubt about it. Jake, so we're kidding about it, we were all expecting points. Maybe you guys knew you were going to be in a little bit of a tussle, but come on, no score in the first quarter. What was going on with the offense there? Hey, we got these points eventually, and you alluded to Runkle, but we had touchdown passes to Brady Eads early in the second quarter, but it still took 15 or 16 minutes to get on the board, and then Kai Rozier, he also had a touchdown pass, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me about this offense. Did we just have to get him on track, or you guys were giving Henry some credit there, Jake?
Yeah, Henry's a team that has their starters in kind of both ways at the start of the game, and then as the game goes on, they start to sub out some guys on defense. So I think that's a big reason why we're stopped in the beginning. Also, our offense sometimes just takes a while to get going.
And now, what I understand also, and it wasn't just a couple of snaps that they brought in Wilkins, basically just because Runkle, I guess, from what I understand, and I'm sure, but I guess they wanted to give him a little breather, and so Wilkins went out there and. Was it just a couple of handoffs, or was he throwing the ball, or?
Yeah, I think it was just handoffs and screens and stuff. Runkle's a very physical QB, so he's taking a few hits out there. So we're getting Jane some snaps in there.
Yeah, and we also, as I told him, I wish him the best, and he's okay. But our good friend Jacob Moronis, we won't get into any of the specifics on it, but boy, that's a little bit of a blow to you guys, though, as far as losing Jacob, and we don't know for how long yet, but boy, that's... Yeah. Did that possibly fuel you for the rest of the game? Because he was down, or did he go down more closer to the end of the game?
It was around mid-game. That definitely was something that fired us up, and I hope he gets well soon and is able to play for at least playoffs.
Yeah, because talk about a guy that deserves to be there. I mean, just coming on the show. I mean, he's a eloquent speaker. He is sharp on the field, just like you gentlemen. And I just think he's another puzzle piece that you definitely need when you are going to go into the playoffs, because there's a lot of good teams out there. But you really made a statement today when you beat Patrick Henry the way you did. I mean, you know that Grossmont, there was almost a record broken. There were so many offensive points scored that thus why I said, oh, it's probably going to be 50-40, just based on how many times they've scored. But obviously, you guys had a great game plan, and Mr. Kelly, he is definitely one of the best defensive coordinators in the county.
No doubt. Hey, I mean, everyone's talking about. I mean, there's some great teams, but in the level of competition you guys are at, Hayden, everyone's talking about Patrick Henry's offense being pretty good. We really squelched them out there.
Yeah, for sure. That was a big statement game for us, just showing that our defense, we're ready to take it to the next level, and that we can play good, not just against the mid-level teams, but also one of the most explosive offenses in San Diego.
All right, Dave, next week, Patriots will play Canyon Hills before they play San Diego. San Diego had a big win tonight. They're the next contender that the Patriots will worry about. They'll play them on the road. You can't overlook the Cavers right now. They're playing pretty good. They ended up with a pretty convincing victory tonight, Dave, shutting out their opponent, I believe, something on the lines of 32-0 or so. So, all right, Dave, got anything else for the guys? Great job, Christian High, our Christian High Patriots tonight. The big win for first place right now in the City League. Yeah, San Diego's 1-0, but the Patriots will play them on the road. And hey, I'll say it, Patriots are right now in the driver's seat. They control their own destiny here in the City League, Dave.
Yeah, and that's got to feel good, gentlemen, that you guys actually do control your own destiny. And I don't think you're losing any steam. I mean, I would say from the beginning of the season in the 22-21 win that you just fed off of that and continue to get those W's posted up. And one thing I did look at is Patrick Henry. When they played Mission Bay, they scored less points, I believe, than you guys did against Mission Bay. So that kind of gave me an indication that you guys could possibly get the win, with that being said. But great job out there. I was hoping that Runkle would join us while you're on here. Maybe he still will. Long game for him. I'm sure he's going to be licking his wounds for a little bit, getting ready for next week, and then we were hoping our San Diego Padres would give us another series, but unfortunately 2-0 loss. That one hurts a little bit too if you're a baseball fan. We've been waiting so many years, and especially to the Dodgers. But gentlemen, you had a terrific game, both of you. Any shout-outs about defensive players that you guys would like to give, or even the offensive line that gets overlooked?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you go, Jake.
Okay, I'll start. I'd like to shout out Kai. He had one play he gave up. It was a pretty big play. But after that, he came back, got a strip on the ball. Max recovered that. It really changed the game for us.
Good, Aiden. Who's your guy?
Yeah, it might not have showed it on the box score because we had some touchdowns called back and early in the game, but our offensive line really just controlled the clock, and we were just moving it down the field the way we know we can, the way we should every single game.
Getting the notes on the game, I have one more question. We'll let him go. But so we stopped Patrick Henry later in the game, maybe in the second half, when Kai forced that fumble and Max had the recovery. Did we have another key stop of Patrick Henry deep in the red zone at all that you recall?
Yeah, they got onto I think they're on the 2-yard line, and then it was they had a bad snap, so we were able to get back there and get the TFL, and then they ended up not getting in.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, I think, yeah, Dave, this is a game when people see the score of this one, they're going to say, that maybe not what we were expecting. Yes, we went with our Patriots, Dave. We took Christian, no doubt about it, but we both said higher scores than this, and that's what everybody was kind of saying. So it really is a big step tonight for the Christian Patriots, especially defensively, for what they did, putting their stamp on this and putting also a stamp on climbing up those ratings a little bit too. Watch out, guys. You guys win the rest of these games, you're going to end up real high in those playoff rankings. So, okay, that'll be fine. They'll take it on. Okay, great job, Dave. And guys, Jake Marsh with that touchdown reception in the game. 41, 45. What did we say, you guys? What was it, Jake? You ran it.
How far the touchdown was?
Yeah,
45.
45.
Yeah,
wow.
it's pretty far.
Hayden, how long was your pick six?
I think it was about 40. We'll say 40. Give myself a
geez.
little extra there.
Put some mileage on these guys. All right, appreciate it.
And thank you, Max. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's maybe add another 3 before the regular season's over, and then take that into the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll go for that.
Great job, gentlemen. Always great to hear from the Patriots, and you guys did a fantastic job. And I'm sure with Runkle and the rest of you, the Patriots are on fire right now. So we will probably be talking to you again next week. So until then, enjoy your day off, enjoy some professional football, and some relaxation. You guys earned it.
All right.
Thanks.
It's true, Dave. They're on fire. The Christian Patriots tonight in charge right now of the City League. How about that, Dave? Big win tonight.
Perfect. And I'm going to ask him right now. He'll see who he can get. But for sure, we have our correspondent standing by on behalf of the Monte Vista Monarchs. I'm going to tell him right now that we're ready for him.
Okay. Well, let's get ready then and start to talk about that game, shall we? It was a big win tonight for Monte Vista at home, 42-21. Dave, I called it in this one. I called the win for the Monarchs here this week, and the Wolfpack took the early lead on a rushing touchdown midway through the first quarter, but Monte Vista answered to pull within 7-6. They then took the lead in the second quarter on a fumble return for a touchdown, and then they took a 20-7 lead with, get this, Dave, a pass. Monte Vista threw a passing touchdown with under 5 minutes to play in the first half to take a 20-7 lead, but West Hills came right back to make it 20-14 with a rushing touchdown with just under 4 minutes to go before halftime as the teams were trading scores. Then West Hills took the lead on a rushing touchdown with under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter and were ahead 21-20, but Monte Vista regained the lead moments later on a rushing touchdown, and then they ran in a 2-point conversion to go ahead 28-21. However, Monte Vista would get the next score and went ahead 35-21 with a second touchdown in the third quarter on another pass completion with under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter for a 35-21 lead. The Monarchs were able to get one more score in the fourth quarter to double up West Hills tonight, and Monte Vista all of a sudden is 1-1. Of course, they already have played the El Capitan Vaqueros. Spoiler alert, El Capitan won tonight, and they're 2-0 in the Grossmont Valley League, Dave.
Oh, and El Capitan was also picked at the beginning of the season when we did our previews. But we also said it could be anybody could win the Valley. And I've been on the Monte Vista train for a while, and hold on one second, and I guess we are not going to have our man Kasim tonight. He had something he had to go with, but he was going to give us more of the details on what happened, but I guess something came up. But
no problem.
I mean,
that's all I have on the game. I don't have any I don't have any IDs on the scoring. I just have that back and forth play-by-play there. That's all I have on this game tonight.
Okay.
No problem. We can move on and keep going here with some of our scores here tonight, unless you have something more on that one with Monte Vista tonight over West Hills. Monte Vista over West Hills. Big win there for the Monarchs to improve to 1-1 in the Grossmont Valley League.
Well, I tell you, I think that he's got to be, Villanueva is probably going to be one of the top offensive players of the Grossmont Conference. I'm sure he'll be first team for sure, the way he's been playing all season. And, he seems like he's fresh every week, and he's carrying the ball a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. Like you said, there was a pass, and Zach's been back there doing, or Derek rather, has been doing his thing, and he said there
were 2 touchdown passes for Monte Vista tonight. We just don't know if it was Taylor. I'd have to assume that it is, but you don't know. Could have been an option pass with these guys. You never know. But nonetheless, 2 passing touchdowns tonight for Monte Vista, from what I could gather.
Yeah, and I'm hoping now, as we're speaking and wrapping up this game, I am trying to get. I'm sending it right now. Trying to get a hold of our good buddy Brant Barker from the El Capitan Vaqueros.
Okay, great. Well, I'll maybe I could start to get into that one if you'd like.
Yes, sir.
All right, because actually, I don't know the final score yet of the game tonight. Everyone's telling me it was 42-0, or it was at least 42-0 late. Well, I got to be honest. I was watching till it was 21-0, and remember, I gave Valhalla a chance. We still kind of, I was still hanging with El Cap to win the game, but I was trying to focus in on a few games tonight, and then I just kind of lost track. So it was 42-0 in the fourth quarter. Last I heard here, I'm trying to see if I can get the final in on this one tonight. El Capitan was able to score on a rushing touchdown in the first quarter to take the lead in this one 7-0. And then they extended the lead on a 52-yard touchdown pass by Brant Barker. And then they also had a 38-yard touchdown pass by Barker. It was actually a 38-yard pass play. It ended up being a short pass that was taken in by the receiver for the touchdown. And that's all I have really from this game, unfortunately, Dave. In fact, I'm still trying to make sure of the final on this one. But last I saw, it was actually 21-0. Then they told me it was 42-0 in the fourth quarter. But that's all I know. I have not yet seen the final, even though I've been checking a few sources here to see if I could wrap this one up. But at this point, got 50 people in the chat, but no one's commenting. So maybe no one was at the game tonight at Valhalla. I watched much of the game, but other than that, after, like I said, 21-0, I still have that game playing on my NFHS here right now, but we've been involved in the show here. So, all right, well, maybe we'll try to pick up the final on that one here momentarily. But that's got on this one.
And he is, I'm getting the Oh, he's at In and Out right now.
And there's Coach McDade checking in. He says it was indeed 42-0 out there tonight. So we'll put
And
the final up there. There we go. And well, I guess I could rewind these and try to see. Although El Cap was wearing their white jerseys with the yellow numerals, so I wasn't even able to get the scorers on those first couple of touchdowns. But I could try to look it up here, Dave, or I could continue on with some of the finals here.
well, he just gave me a great idea, and if you are still watching right now, Mr. Defensive Coach of, maybe you end up being the one of the Defensive Coaches of the Year, who knows? But Coach McDade, if you're listening, we'd like to have you on. I guess it's packed at the local In and Out Burger. I was trying to get a hold of Brant, but he said it's just a zoo there. So he's probably getting some animal style fries. Love to have you on real quick and kind of get the X's and O's, if you will. And there he is.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
Always take a win, so happy about that.
Well, we gave Valhalla a chance to be a player in this league, but to be honest, it looks like to me the Vaqueros have distanced themselves from the rest of the teams. But tonight it was tell us about this defense, and we know that Jackson is a handful tonight. But what was going on out there?
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty locked in, I think, pretty much all season long. And I think that the kids have done a really good job of preparing and kind of knowing what to expect, and they just been just really locked in. And I think we talked a few weeks ago. We really tried to schedule some teams early on in the season to test us, so that once we hit league play, that we'd be hitting on all strides. And early we had a couple key injuries to two of our starting receivers. And now having them back healthy, I think we're just playing pretty good complementary football right now.
And isn't that the key? No matter what level of football that you're playing, if you're healthy and you're approaching the end of the regular season and heading into the playoffs, we definitely want that defense as healthy as possible. And it looks like the offense is firing on all cylinders as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think, early on, we had some new additions, and it took a little bit of time. And now, Brant's really locked in with, especially Michael Valencia and Aiden Benegas, and now Brady Jolerman in the running game starting to get going. So we like where we're at right now.
Any big plays tonight on the defense? Give us some guys.
Yeah, Lucas Garcia has been playing outstanding all season long. We had an injury, so he moved from outside linebacker to inside linebacker, and he's been playing outstanding. Quite honestly, I think Aaron Altamirano is probably, I can't imagine a better defensive player in the league than him right now. He's averaging right around like 13, 14 tackles a game, and doing all those things. And then, a defensive lineman, we had a transfer in from Texas, name's Josh Vasquez. And, he doesn't get maybe some of the stats that some of the other guys get, but he's been a complete game changer on our D line, and, keeping guys off of Aaron and Lucas. So, real happy with his production. And then probably, for 2 years, Evan Ortega is probably like the unsung guy. He just does everything right, plays with great leverage, and another guy that's just completely unselfish and does all the things. So some of the other guys get the numbers, but we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for him.
Dave, I'm already putting El. I'll go ahead. I was going to say, Dave, I'm putting El Capitan. That's what I do ahead of these other teams, but they do have their most important games. You mentioned playoffs, but the next 2 weeks are the most important games of the season right now for the Vaqueros, especially next week at Santana. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I mean what we talked about, Coach, and we have been pretty much since we previewed the Valley League. It wasn't so much the Hills; it was who is going to win the Valley. Now, everybody pointed to El Capitan, as we did as well, but then we were like, well, what about all those other guys? Then all of a sudden, here we go. We got an upset last week of Valhalla knocking off Santana. No one saw that one coming. But I mean, you played them, and I mean, their quarterback, he seems to be locked in and being able to throw the rock pretty far and very accurately. Not to mention, they have like 3 or 4 running backs that can really bust through for quite a few yards. I'm sure they didn't get to do that with you, but
doing much, right, Dave? Coach, they weren't doing much. I mean, with all due respect.
Yeah, I think we gave up. I think 1 first down tonight. So but I think it's just a credit to the preparation that the kids went through all week long, and just being locked in on knowing the things that they want to do out of their various formations, and but I have to give credit to Coach Cherry. I think he's done a great job with Valhalla. Like I just the way they play, it's just a different there's a different tempo to them than maybe in the years past. So ton of respect to him and what he's done with that program, and I think as he continues, they're just going to continue to grow. So
respect to you guys though too, Dave, because Dave, I was trying. It did feel like that the Norsemen and the Monarchs, who we were able. I say we, the Vaqueros beat 38-21. The 2 upstarts that I said, Dave, these teams can be an impact teams, and I think Coach, they have shown improvement. Both those teams, but right now, El Cap's back. El Cap's back to El Cap, Dave.
They are, and I mean, deep down, we expected you guys to be on top of it, and then you had the dogfight with the rest of them. But that's why I was hoping to have Monte Vista on today too, because I will tell you, after yourselves, I think that Monte Vista is. I think they don't get enough credit for how they play, for the amount of players that they do have going both ways. And then we know that Hamamoto loves to run the ball, and they have a running back, which I'm sure you already are aware. I mean, he's on everybody's radar in Villanueva. Not quite the size of the beast they had in McClendon, but definitely a player to look out for. But I honestly think you should beat all of those teams, but I think that would probably be the biggest challenge I see so far.
So help us out, Coach, because that's where I've gone wrong a little bit, Coach Big Dade, right? I mean, 38-21, you guys handled them. Villanueva had obviously pretty good game, and they had a good game, but to see them tonight double up West Hills, I know you haven't seen them, have the Wolfpack yet, and that's going to be an important game. But tell us about the Monarchs a little bit and the strides maybe that they've made and what you might be expecting from West Hills too. I don't want you to look ahead. I know we got Santana next, but last game.
Yeah, I mean, the Villanueva kid is the real deal. We thought we played really good defense. I think we held him somewhere in like the 70-yard range, something like that. But he did return a kickoff 100 yards against us, and I mean, Coach Hamamoto does a great job. He's been, he's a legend for a reason. And what he gets out of his kids is, unparalleled. So, but I think, probably the biggest difference I see in them this year is they can throw the ball a little bit too. I think they actually had more passing yards than rushing yards against us last week. I told Coach Hamamoto after the game, I'm like, I think you threw more in that game than in the 12 years I played you any other time. So, but no, I think they do a good job, between Coach Hamamoto, Coach Culver, they get the most out of their guys, and, a ton of respect for what they've done. And yeah, I think they're going to be a tough out for whoever they have to play because they do things right.
They made a big impact in this race right now with that win over West Hills now, Dave.
Yeah.
And that's why right now, Dave, El Cap, they're the only 2-0 team in the Valley.
Right. And then you, like you mentioned earlier, Ramon mentioned, you do have Santana coming up. And let's just say, I mean, I know that you should win the game, but it's not going to be a walk in the park because, hey, it is a league game. Records don't matter a lot of times when you're playing within your league. But I'm sure you're going to prep your guys and have them locked in like you did for this one in particular. I think Santana's a little tougher, even though they are a younger squad than Valhalla. But I think that you shouldn't have a problem, but I think it should be a great matchup, a great game, actually. Especially consider, like I said, they're 4 or 5 seniors, and the rest of them are all youngsters. And for them to win as many games as they have won, that's definitely impressive. But El Capitan is on the top. I don't see you guys falling down from the top spot. You were expected to be there. And like you said, and you said this a couple of weeks ago about how you were playing those teams early on, so you would be able to have, let's just say, a step up in against these teams in league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I
just
think
making
we're
storylines every week, Coach. We knew it was, Sean, it probably, it was coming in as a call.
okay, got it.
Go ahead, Coach McDade. What I was going to say to finish off with Dave was that we try to make a storyline every week. You guys knew all along it's probably going to come down to the Santana and West Hills games anyways, of course.
Yeah, I mean, those are the rivalry games, right? And I think you said it. You can throw records out the window. You can throw all that when you play those games. They're going to be up to play us, and they do a great job. Coach Ash, Coach Estes, Coach Wright, and on the defensive side of Santana is a great defensive mind. So we know we're going to be challenged. We're just taking everything one game at a time right now, just preparing the best way we can, and hopefully at the end the chips fall where they should.
Well, everybody looks locked in, and if this is any indication to, this evening, in particular, your defense, but it looks like the offense. I'm sure. Did you anybody in particular? We know Brant, but anybody in particular that you would give a shout out to that played a superb game
If
this
you remember
evening?
any of those plays, Coach, all I have is we had a rushing touchdown to start it off. Brant threw a 52-yarder to somebody, and Brant threw a short pass that was turned into a 38-yard score. Do you remember any other touchdowns?
Yeah, Brady Drowerman really got us going. He throughout the first series, and I think he scored the first long rushing touchdown. And then Michael Valencia caught the long passing touchdown, and then I think it was Braden Linders really come on as our tight end, and so he had the screen pass that he took for a touchdown. So. And then I think Brady Droman took another screen pass for a touchdown. We
Wow.
distributed the ball kind of all over the place, and I think, definitely the like emergence of Braden Linder he's a big, tall kid. His emergence at the tight end and kind of being that security blanket for Brant, I think has really helped us as well.
Appreciate that, Coach. I was typing those in. We'll get the rest of it later. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you guys.
you.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll talk to you
yeah,
guys
I
later.
appreciate it all the time. I was trying to get Bran on, but like I said, he was it sounded like he was pretty hungry, and not to mention, I told him the noise isn't a big deal, but
Yeah.
when they're getting their food at this
Yeah.
age, you know. So thanks for coming on. We appreciate it,
Yeah,
and
appreciate you guys.
we will. I'm sure we'll see you next week because I'm sure you'll be putting up some points, and you'll be doing your end on preventing any points.
Yeah, we're hoping so.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Appreciate it.
guys. I'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Going to be so, Dave. Right now in the Grossmont Valley League, El Capitan is 2-0. Valhalla, that was the matchup. Both teams came in 1-0 today, and now El Capitan is the only 2-0 team as they had the win. And West Hills came in 1-0, but with that upset by Monte Vista, now both those teams are 1-1. So next week, Santana. Let's just cover it here real quick. I don't have much info on the game tonight, but it was Santana beating El Cajon Valley 41-0 to improve to 1-1. So next week, Santana will be taking on El Capitan in the current big game of the season in the Valley League before they play West Hills, and West Hills will have to get a move on here right now to get back. Somebody's going to probably get back in the race, but again, it's El Capitan that has they're in the driver's seat right now with those two results, with those two wins.
Well, I don't know. I think that I wasn't too sure actually at the very beginning of the season, but they did exactly what Coach McDade alluded to, was playing some of those tougher teams to groom themselves, if you will, to be able to play their league foes, because they know that there are those trap games, as we call them, a lot of times. And what I was thinking right at the moment, sir, was to see if we can get a hold of Coach Estes of the Santana Sultans.
Okay, no problem. Well, if not, because I don't have anything on the game right now. All I can tell you is Santana beat El Cajon Valley tonight, 41-0. The Sultans led 27-0 at halftime. They scored again in the third quarter for a 34-0 lead. Went on to the win tonight against the Braves, 41-0. All right, I'm going to continue on with some of the scores here, Dave. Just to try to get all these wrapped up here at this point and get everyone the information here. It was Mount Miguel winning this big game tonight against Helix, 48-17. The Matadors are on track for a matchup with the Granite Hills Eagles for the top spot this season in the Grossmont Hills League. It's going to come down to the Matadors and the Eagles here this season. Paris Vernon caught a touchdown pass in the second quarter that got the Matadors down to the 1 yard line, and then they scored a short rushing touchdown for a 7-0 lead. But Helix actually led 8-7 just moments later. They scored on a 31-yard option pass from Pablo Jackson to Harlem Harris downfield for a score. Helix ran in the conversion and led 8-7 just 3 minutes into the game. But Brandon Arrington returned the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown as Mount Miguel regained the lead 14-8. Mount Miguel also scored on a 33-yard interception return. that appeared to be either deflected or altered, knocked into the air somehow as the quarterback was trying to deliver a short pass. He got the pick six score to make it 21-8 with 7:18 to go before halftime. Helix scored on a quarterback sneak to draw within one score with 5:50 left in the first half, making it 21-15. However, Mount Miguel scored on a touchdown pass of 11 yards from A.J. Logan to Delonte Williams as the Matadors extended the lead to 28-15. It was a beautiful diving catch by Williams. The Matadors opened the scoring in the third quarter with a short rushing touchdown to go up 35-15 with 8:33 to go in the third quarter, although Helix bounced back with a rushing touchdown from Jackson to draw the score to within 35-22 with 5:11 left in the third quarter. However, the Matadors got an 11-yard run for a touchdown from Jaden Hunter, the sophomore. He made it 42-22. Jackson added another touchdown for Helix on the first play of the fourth quarter, a 27-yard touchdown run as Helix still had life, down just two scores at 42-28. However, Mount Miguel scored another touchdown to go ahead 48-28 there late in the game and went on for the victory tonight. So Mount Miguel will have the Granite Hills Eagles in their sights. Those two teams will end up determining the league championship here as Mount Miguel got that road victory. As I don't know, we kind of anticipated they would.
Well, I mean, and this is I don't like the word. We use it a lot of times for some of the. It's a down season. I just think that they don't have some of those big superstars that they have had in the past, and it kind of shifted. It looks like Mount Miguel has the Helix type players from the past, and Helix is on the other end, unfortunately.
All right, right now, Dave, we got Coach Estes here coming to us from the office. He's already hard at work getting ready for the big league games coming up, and we saw tonight, Dave, Santana. Well, I didn't see it, but we understand it was 41-0, Dave. So hopefully, Coach can at least fill us in a little bit on what went on tonight at home against the Braves. Hi, Coach.
How you doing today, guys?
Good.
We've seen already the results come in, Coach. El Capitan kept to go and beat Valhalla on the road, but West Hills was upset by Monte Vista. So you guys got to keep the winning going here at this point. Set yourself up for the big games, but had the Braves tonight.
Yes, we did. We played a lot better than we did last week. Last week Valhalla got us, and we figured out a way to shoot ourselves in the foot a couple times against Valhalla. But I got to hand it to them. They played well. They kept the ball away from us.
And that's what we were talking to Coach McDade about just a few minutes ago is that, Valhalla has they've emerged as more of a, I wouldn't say a threat so much, but they're on the radar now. And after several years of being kind of in hiatus.
Sure. They got a lot better. We played them 2 years ago, and they've got a lot better since then.
So tonight, Coach, as far as because we were trying to actually get it on our NFHS and all that, and a lot of times they're not turning them on or mechanically. Could you possibly? I'm sure you have the stats anyway, but run down the bigger plays of the game, if you will.
We had quite a few. Our defense played really well. El Cone did. I think the only way they got a first down is by penalty, and so our defense group played really well. We had a punt that we punt return for a touchdown. They got called back on a weird hold. We did have a kickoff return for a touchdown. We almost got another kickoff that we recovered in the end zone, but there's an inadvertent whistle. But Caden Holman played really, really well. I think he had 12 rushes for like 70 yards. So he didn't have touch the ball very many times. Wyatt Williams, I think he got like 45 yards on like 4 or 5 carries. And then Julian Mayers, our freshman, he had like 40, 50 yards as well. I'll send you the stat after we got the phone here.
Everybody got to do a little something different. So
yeah,
with all due respect tonight, everybody had a little.
And it was one thing that was really nice at the end of the game. We had 6 freshmen playing in the varsity football game, which was kind of cool. So we've never had that many guys on the varsity football team as a whole, except for like when you pull them up for like playoffs or something. But it's the first time we actually had them up during the season and they all played.
No, I'm sure that they were more than excited to be able to go out there. And with that being said, did you see anything? I know probably a couple of plays here and there, and nothing really to gamble on. But did you see anything special in these freshmen that maybe next year you could be putting them up to varsity?
Well, a couple of them already are in varsity.
Julian's a star already, Coach.
Tatum Morehouse has been on varsity for the last few weeks. So, Kyle Carnes, he's been up for a couple weeks. So we've had a couple guys up for a little bit, and they're working in. And Kyle's competing against a quarterback, Ethan Miller, every week. So it's been nice.
It's always good to have those youngsters, and if you can get them locked in at that young at that age, then you got them for 3 years. That's really something big you can build on, especially considering this season you had 4 or 5 seniors. So and done a pretty darn good considering they are as young as they are.
Yeah, we have quite a few. Our team is really young. We have a number of sophomores and juniors that are playing a ton right now. Our senior class total, I think, is about 12. So we have a pretty young class. So it's really good.
Did you see anything different out of El Cajon? Did it just do you think it's the coaching and the youth and just so many changes? Because El Cajon's been competing for the last couple of years.
They have, and I don't know. I was talking to one of their coaches up there that I've known for a long, long time, and he said that they just have a lot of inexperience this year. They had to fold their JV program, so they pulled them all up. So they had about 35 kids total in the program. So they're pretty young, but a lot of inexperience from what he told me. Yes, they either some kids either didn't come back out or grades or something, but yeah, just a lot of inexperience.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, it looks like it's it sounds to me like it's a complete rebuild, overhaul, if you will. Give it a few years, but also to lose a coach like Coach Osborne that really reestablished so many great values in these kids in the past.
Yeah, he did a really good job with them, and the new coach, I'm sure he's doing a good job with everything he can. And it's tough. El Cajon has got its own. Wouldn't say necessarily problems, but they have a lot of different situations that come up with their in that program.
Well, it's still, no matter how it comes, you did get another win in the win column, and now probably one of the bigger tests. You're coming up against El Capitan, that's coming off a pretty big win this evening.
Yeah, they seem to take it to Valhalla, so I'll watch that game film probably tomorrow. But they've been doing pretty good here and there. They've won a couple games that were I didn't pick them to win necessarily, but then they've lost a couple I thought they were going to win. So I'm not sure until I look at them. I was just by looking at scores. I really haven't watched them too much.
It's going to be a big one day for sure. Morehouse had a sack tonight. We're banging Coach for the stats. Here they come already. That's how good these guys are right now. Hallman, 5 receptions. Davey also rushed for 70 yards tonight. Coach said Wyatt Williams in there. averaging almost 5 yards a carry tonight. So, and Julian Mayers, yeah, he rumbled his way for 45 yards on 3 carries. It probably carried some defensive along the way as well.
He did. He's started, I think, every game this year on defense as a freshman, so that's been very good.
One of the top defensive freshmen in the county for sure this season. He's been acknowledged by a lot, by plenty already. Julian Mayers of the Santana Sultans. All right, Dave, anything else for Coach? Getting ready for next week. Big game.
Yep, you probably the last thing I'm going to say is probably the biggest one of the league season anyway, coming up.
Yeah. This will be a battle for sure. Looking forward to it. You know, Ron and Sean, they do a great job over there, so it'll be a good fun game, I'm sure.
We told Coach McDade we'd try to make some storylines each week, and yeah, sure, the Monarchs and Norsemen have perked up a little bit here and gotten our attention, but we always do. It'd probably come down to these teams in these 3 games: Santana, El Capitan, of course, and West Hills, Dave. So, all right. Thanks, Coach.
We appreciate it, Coach.
All right. And get this. You guys got all the stats, or do I need to text them to you?
I got all those stats. The stats online didn't have the touchdown scorers on there, but do you remember any of the actual touchdown scorers?
Caden Holman had 2 rushing ones and 1 kickoff return for a touchdown.
Oh my gosh, he had 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, 2 rushing and 1 kickoff.
Just 3 touchdowns, Coach. No biggie.
Yep. And then Noah Quaylen had 1 touchdown. I think Wyatt Williams had 1 touchdown. Xander Bennett had 1 touchdown. I think that was it.
That'd be it right there. Yeah, that's 6, I think. Hallman, Quaylen, Bennett, and Williams. Hallman 3, Quaylen, Bennett, and Williams. That's 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate it as always, and I think that could be definitely the Valley game of the week. Next week will be the El Capitan Vaqueros and the Santana Sultans, and we look forward to talking about it on Wednesday night, and then seeing you guys after the game for our postseason or our post game coverage.
Oh, love to. I hope to be chatting with you next week for sure.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it always.
Hey, my pleasure. All right, we'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
great job.
All right.
All right, Dave, we got a few more we're going to look at here tonight. You kept an eye on this one, Dave. I did too.
You know, it looked like, they drove down the field. They kicked a field goal, a long field goal. I believe it was a 44-yarder. And I thought, well, they settled for 3. It's early in the game, no big deal. But then I just saw the Dons were just scoring at will. Palmer to Dilts, they hooked up a couple of times for a 14-yard touchdown. They also had didn't grab his name, but number 25 was their featured running back, picking up a lot of yards. And let's say also give credit to Palmer. He had quite a few rushes as well, and did have a rushing touchdown as well. Turner, he had a couple breakout for 20 yards here, 10 yards there, but for the most part, it looked like to me every time I don't know if they watched it on film, but they stacked the box, and he was denied quite a few times by that Cathedral Catholic defense. I did notice Spalding I believe he only made 1 appearance on the field. Unfortunately, it was for a 2-yard loss. I thought that they might keep him in a little longer, but it seemed like we went to the air most often. A lot of incomplete passes. Benitez was under duress pretty much from the end of the first quarter all evening. He did have some great passes as well. And then in the first half, I'd never seen so many penalties from the Dons. The Dons gave away 15 yards here, 10 yards there, unsportsmanlike, personal fouls, couple delay, and even a roughing the kicker. Quite a few of those, and that's what led to the field goal, actually. And then that was when the Palmer to Dill's 14-yard touchdown. And then the Eagles, like I said, turn up the middle, no gain. Turn up the middle, no gain. Benitez threw a couple of passes, some short passes that were complete. And then, no, don't get me wrong. He also threw some great passes, the longer passes of 20, 30 yards to Ingram. He seemed to be his favorite target on the evening. But he was also sacked a couple of times. That's not something we see often as far as the offensive line allowing those sacks on Benitez. There was also a kick return that was a little further. I think, who was that? At any rate, I just think that the Dons are back. They're definitely back, and they're going to go for pretty far into the playoffs. Third quarter, Turner had a 3-yard rush, one up the middle, couple of incomplete passes, and then the Dons again. They did get quite a few penalties once again in the third quarter, but Palmer keeper, another one, 3-yard rush, also scored again. Then we're at 45-6, and then we pretty much went on the air after that. Just a lot of Palmer. And number 25, he carried the ball quite a few times. I think the Eagles were a little more stingy on the run. I want to say Vance probably led in tackles. De Leon was there once, but Vance made a really big hit towards the end of the, I would say the end of the third quarter, early fourth. But it just didn't look like the Eagles. They were dominated on both sides of the ball. I don't know if it was they're that good, or did the Eagles play not up to par? I think it was a little bit of both. I think they were down when they were down at the half. I don't think that they ever recovered. It's unfortunate because this was a big game. We talked about it on Wednesday that they needed to get this game, and we both picked Cathedral. I mean, they're the top dogs, and now Granite Hills has to pretty much win out. I mean, they have to win out, and it doesn't get any easier. They got the Matadors up next, and I think they are going to be studying some serious offense and how to. I'm sure Kellen is going to be ready for them with his defense and how to counter those speedsters and just. I mean, they burn that field up and very quick. So I'm going to say that the edge rushers are going to have their work cut out for them, as well as the secondary. So, but I think that Granite Hills will be able to score quite a bit too. So I'm going to say it's going to probably be a shootout, if you ask me, next week. But a must win for the Eagles, and really a must win for the Matadors. So who wants it more?
No, it is. It's for the league championship, basically. I mean, there's a couple more games left, certainly, but these are the two left standing here at this point. So shake it off, basically. But it does feel like right now that the margin of victory, look, there's Lincoln and there's Cathedral Catholic, and with all due respect to all the teams that are surging towards the top right now, I just feel like they're not quite there right now in the category with Cathedral and Lincoln at this point. So, okay.
Well, we did. I don't know if you did. I was still waiting for Coach, possibly Lawrence, to get a hold of me. I did not get the final on the Steel Canyon and Grossmont Foothillers game. Hopefully that one will come in.
I'm checking every source. I mean, I'm about to call 7-Eleven at this point. So don't know what happened out there tonight with Steel Canyon and Grossmont. We do have one other final, and it was Tri-City Christian beat Mountain Empire 27-0.
Oh.
All right. I think that's going to do it, Dave. We're just going to have to go watch the PPR here and try to get the final score, at least from that Grossmont and Steel Canyon game at this point. I don't know who won.
We are going to have to do that. I was hoping, and if I hear anything from Coach Lawrence, I'll definitely pass it on to you. And it was
I've got to be one of the 165 biggest East County high school football fans, along with everybody watching this show and you and me. And I don't know the score.
Well, it's a mystery to me, somewhat. But then again, it's not. However, I'd like to thank our sponsors, as always, Granite Mortgage and Lakeside Equipment, and also for Mr. Davila for always filling us in if I can't get Christian on the NFHS. But I will say overall, I think that was one of the bigger games today and unexpected victories for the evening, if you will. But we hope we hear from Grossmont and get that score. Other than that, and I was hoping to hear from Monte Vista's. Kasim was going to come on. Something came up. I would have loved to hear from those Monarchs. They did a fantastic job this evening as well. Hats off to Hamamoto and his Monarchs. But with that being said, for Ramon Scott, I'm Dave Dickens, and that is the post game. Thank you very much. Good night.